So both historically and in contemporary politics, we often look to public policy to provide answers to some of our most pressing social problems, right? So we create policies to answer questions like how do we provide equitable access to housing or to health care? How do we end discrimination in the American workforce? And indeed, historically, the answers to these questions have been provided in different ways. And sometimes policymakers looking to address these big social concerns might provide policy solutions in one moment, which have unintended consequences in another moment. And so my research is interested in engaging with these types of questions, and in fact in hopefully to provide some answers and some analysis of how policy has been used in historical moments and in contemporary politics to address these big questions. And I look in particular at a piece of policy known as Title IX. It was part of a large omnibus piece of legislation passed in 1972 that was called the Educational Amendments of 1972. And Title IX is situated at the center of the larger American civil rights regime. So originally, this was a policy that was designed to end sex discrimination in education. And indeed, it was designed to address pressing concerns like women's exclusion from graduate schools, women's exclusion from faculty appointments at colleges and universities. And interestingly, it was crafted much more generally than it often figures in people's thinking about the meaning of Title IX. Frequently, if I mention that I do research on Title IX, people immediately think of sports. And indeed, one of the unintended applications of Title IX has been to sports, in particular at the high school and college level. And over the past 40 years, the implementation of policy to end sex discrimination in education has come to also mean, in large ways, the end of exclusion of girls and women from teams and from sporting spaces. So now, 40 years after the policy was passed, about 12 times as many girls and women have opportunities to play sports in high school and college in the US.